Hi there, everybody. This is Dr. Lavelle again. I'm glad to be with you on this moment where we're going to talk to you about how you can become fearless. You know, fearlessness is not really taught in school. It's not really taught in a lot of different places, but most people live in fear. They have all different kinds of fears. I know one of my fears is being claustrophobic. I don't like to be in tight little enclosed spaces. How about you? What's your fear? Right? Some people have fear of heights. Some people have fear of being in the water. And some people have fear of success, and some people have fear of failure. Some people fear criticism. We all have different fears. And most of us live our lives in this little enclosure that fear kind of stifles us, keeps us from becoming who I think you were intended to be. So, we're going to talk about how to get through that. And one of the things we need to do is understanding how fear imposes itself upon your future. Our future is determined by our ability to become victimless and become victors. How do you become a victor in a world where you're not really taught how to defend yourself? I want to talk to you about what happened with me when I was little. And the reason why I learned the martial arts to start with was because I was being terrorized as a child. Yeah, that's right. 6 years old, 7, 8, 9 years old. I wanted to become a good student. My mother taught me, she says, hey, Ronnie, you want to have a good life, then you become a good student. You do the right things and your life will be better. Well, they tried that. They came up from the projects and they wanted to own their first house, and they bought their first house when it was like $13,000, $14,000. And we got out of the projects and we had a little house. Well, guess what? Some of the people in the projects didn't like the fact that we were moving up. You know, the devil doesn't want you to have success, or whatever you want to call the enemy, right? You call him whatever name you want to, but there's somebody who's opposing your success right now, or something. And whatever that is, we're going to get rid of it today. We're going to show you how to do that. So, first thing is you got to recognize the fact that you've got some limitations, right? And the first thing was I didn't know how to protect myself. And these boys down in the hood, would run me home every day after school and terrorize me and beat me up. I was in, fourth grade, fifth grade. And every day I was like, oh my God, I had all this mental anguish trying to figure out how I could slip through and find another way home without them catching me. And they would surround me and they'd always show this bully out, and this bully would come and beat on me, and it was just terrible. And one day my stepfather said to me, he says, are you done being terrorized? I said, yeah. He says, well, then we're going to enroll you in a class so you can learn how to defend yourself. So I did that. I learned how to do some judo, but I didn't like judo. It was just too much information, too close people up on me. I had to get up on people. I didn't feel comfortable with that. I started to learn karate. Karate was better because I could learn how to stand back and do what I needed to do, but it didn't really fit my personality. It was still too much confrontation, right? And then later on in life, I learned Kung Fu, and I learned it from Dr. Daniel Kane Pai, who taught me how to avoid all of the confrontation, right? Taught me how to become confrontational less. And that was a whole different way of thinking. And then, of course, redirecting bad energy directed towards me. So I learned how to protect myself through what I discussed with some people earlier, pain. Pain is one of the best teachers you'll ever have, right? Some people disagree with that, but I don't know about you, but pain has taught me a lot of things. First of all, when I touched that stove, my mama told me not to touch. Pain taught me don't do that again. And then I had pain that how the old folks used to do, they'd bring a switch out, and if you did something they told you not to do, but you get a hold of that switch would get a hold of you, and that could give you some pain, or the belt, or whatever it was that your parents used to correct you. Sometimes it was the pain of them taking away something. I know that's modern, and they'll take away your cell phone, or take away your tablet, or take away your computer. or something that you like to do. Well, there's pain involved in that too. That's a different kind of rod of correction, right? But it is a rod of correction. So what I wanted to do is figure out how to eliminate the pain of fear from my life. And you want to learn how to do that too. So one of the things 2 Timothy teaches in 1:7, it says, "For God is not giving us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So God didn't give us the spirit of fear. He gave us the ability to overcome that, right? And so you have the ability to overcome any fear that is approaching you. Now, how did I overcome it? I had to learn how to protect myself. But before he would teach me how to protect myself, he had to teach me, my karate teacher had to teach me how to accept pain as a part of the process of learning how to protect yourself. Oh my goodness. So he used to kick me and punch me to make me feel comfortable with absorbing pain and how to absorb it, how to dissipate it, and then how to anticipate it so that I could avoid it, right? Oh, so I had learned those things, but first it took me to get pain before I could learn how to give pain, right? And then after I learned how to give pain, I found out it was no longer necessary to have to be that person who was pushing that out into the universe. So the more I learned how to avoid pain and the more I learned how to give pain, the less it was necessary for me to do that. But I did have to confront that person. Yes, I did. That guy who terrorized me. After about a year of studying how to protect myself, one day we had that confrontation and I was able to defeat him and give him some pain. And that stopped that. It never happened again after that. I never had to worry about that. I didn't have to fight him anymore. I just had to fight him one good time. And sometimes you've got to face your fear and fight it at least one good time. Whatever that fear that you're having. If it's fear of relationships and making a relationship work, stop fearing it and start working towards the resolution, the solutions to make your relationship work. So most of our battles are not physical. And these days, your battles are more spiritual. So there's ways to learn how to be effective with that spiritual battle. One, you got to learn what are the rules of the game in spiritual warfare, right? So prayer is my answer for me. I had to learn how to pray. Everybody thinks, well, I learned the Lord's Prayer. I know how to pray. No, that's a part of it. That's learning how to do it. And most of the time we just repeating words that we don't have any deep meaning for us. But it wasn't until my wife had a cardiac arrest that I really learned how to pray. And when I was praying, not for me, but I was praying for somebody else. And I was praying against all of the people who said she wasn't going to make it. Even the doctor said she wasn't going to make it, right? They said, when we pull the plug, she's not going to make it. You need to be prepared. Well, God told me something different. He says, if you don't give up, I won't give up. And I didn't give up. And I hung on to the faith that he was teaching me through the pain of that experience, right? That was a really tough experience for me. And it taught me how to be humble, taught me how to listen, taught me how to be patient. It taught me how to look up the right kinds of words, the right word formulas, so that I could put them into play into the universe so that God could hear my heart, right? Because he doesn't care about the outside, all that other periphery stuff. He only cares about your heart. And I had the heart that I wanted my wife to live and not die. And he honored my request. He said he would, and I found out that he does honor your request. So anything I have ever been afraid of since then, I learned how to face it. I learned how to pray. I learned how to ask God for the favor of understanding, for the favor of victory over that thing that was oppressing me. And he always provided me access. So the battle that you're probably going through right now, whether it's a relationship battle, with your children, with your spouse, your significant other, maybe your parent, whatever that battle that you're having right now, it can be overcome. But you're going to need to, one, pray your way through and be intentionally honest about what you'd like to see happen. Let the Lord know what you're talking about, what you're asking for. Be specific, right? Don't be general. If you need a change in your life, now's the time to make that happen. John 10:10 says, "The thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy." What is a thief? A thief is somebody that wants to take something that doesn't belong to them. And that's your joy, right? That's the feeling of accomplishment. That's being able to become that person that you believe you should be, that you can be, and that I believe you will be. You will become the new version of yourself if you allow yourself to be strong enough to fight against that thief that came to do that, to take away what belongs to you. And victory is already yours, right? And so whatever it is that's been keeping you from accomplishing what you want to accomplish, just remember that fear actually stands for false evidence appearing real, right? It's not real. It only appears to be real. And it's the lie that we have lived under, believing that we don't have the power to overcome when you actually have the power. Some of you are suffering from lack, right? And so it's either going to be you're going to have one side or the other. What do you want? Do you want the fast or do you want the feast? Do you want the fast or do you want the feast? Right? Do you want to let the fasting of fear steal you from the faith you deserve? Do you want the fasting of hate, being in that hate column, to keep you from the love that you can experience? Do you want the famine of not having enough keep you from the feast that God has prepared? He said he prepared a table before you. Do you want lack to keep you from abundance? The lack of not having enough, not feeling that you're enough, not being able to accomplish your goals, dreams, and aspirations? No, we are not going to live in fear anymore because we make a decision. We're not going to accept the lies that have been told to us, that are being told to you, that you're not enough, that you can't accomplish the success that you want in life. No, we're not doing that anymore. What we are doing is we're going to accept the truth that we can accomplish all things through Christ who strengthens us. We can become the better version of ourselves. Yes, you can be better than the people that came before you, but I can tell you this, the only reason why you are where you are is because you're standing on the shoulders of other people who did what they did so that you can have what you now have, which is an opportunity to really make something unique and wonderful happen in your world. You know, I believe that you have certain gifts that God has given you to be a blessing to your world once they've been exposed. Once you can get out of that corner of not believing that you are all that and a bag of chips, which you are, and the world needs to see what you bring to the table. Whatever it is, it's going to be special once you let the rest of the world know what you have. So don't live in fear anymore, right? Make a decision that you're not going to be fasting from the things that you should be feasting on. You should be able to feast on the abundance of this world. This world is just an awesome place for people who want to take advantage of it and to be appreciative of the opportunities that are put in your life. And so I believe that today you have a message that that you can share with the other people in your lives that will help them make a decision that they are never going to live in fear anymore, that they're going to live a fearless life, and that they will go through life believing that they can accomplish all things and that they can become exactly what they believe in their heart that they can be, because God has already preordained it. He's already given you something special. All you got to do is go find it and share it. Okay. Well, I hope that you'll take the time out today to like, comment, share, and also subscribe to our channel so that we can be a blessing to more people and help more people find out the wonderful person that God has instilled in you for the rest of the world to take advantage of and to be blessed by. Thank you so much for spending this evening or this afternoon or this morning with me. And I hope that you actually find your way to live the fearless life of success that you deserve.